anniversary. And in order to honor Cranford Pratt, who was the first principal of the college and university, they asked him to come to Dar es Salaam. Unfortunately, Cran was unable to go. And as I think a mark of honor for Cran, they decided to come here to make a presentation to him. And I think we'll hear more about that later. But in the meantime, first I would like to call upon our Provost, Provost Isak, Provost and Vice President, to say a greeting from the University of Toronto. To you.
Thank you. So it's a great pleasure to be here and to honor and welcome our distinguished guests from the University of Dar es Salaam, especially Professor and Vice Chancellor Mukandala and His Excellency the Tanzanian Ambassador. We are extremely honored that some of you have traveled all this way to honor one of the University of Toronto's finest scholars and citizens, Professor Cranford Pratt. As academics, we all want to make a bit of a difference to the growth of knowledge, to our students, and also to the institutions that we are a part of and that we care about. And Professor Pratt has most certainly made a difference. His work on the socialist project in Tanzania and looking at new and sometimes counter to prevailing wisdom ways of thinking through that project is a real contribution to knowledge. His place in the growth of knowledge is more than secure. His legacy at the University of Toronto, as one can tell from the people who are gathered in this room to honor him today, is also extraordinarily secure. I'm not a scholar of Africa or its politics, but my son is a fledgling one. And last night when I was showing him some of the web material about Cran Pratt, he spoke, he's an undergraduate, I'm not sure how he knows all of this, but he spoke of what he called a glorious period in the University of Toronto politics department for African studies. And I know that that some of Cran Pratt's colleagues from that time, Bob Matthews and others who really ignited African political scholarship at the University of Toronto, are here today, as are some of his students, as are some of the brand new colleagues who are carrying on that tradition into the future. So your place at the University of Toronto is also very, very secure. But perhaps most importantly, Cran Pratt has made a difference to the world. As the first principal of the University of Dar es Salaam, and in contributing to debates in Tanzania, about Tanzania, he has made a real difference, and he has been a very clear and very steady voice for equity and human rights throughout Africa. We at the University of Toronto are very honored, as I've said, to have such distinguished visitors with us today. And we're also very pleased to share in this modest way in the honor that is to be bestowed upon you today. So congratulations.
I know we're here to celebrate the work that Cran did in helping to develop and create and be the first head of the University of Dar es Salaam. But I wanted to, and this is expressed to our Tanzanian friends as much as to Cran, that experience in Tanzania he brought back with him to Toronto, and I think added in a very significant way to our department and to the university. Not only did he help to create a new curriculum or course programs on African politics at this university. He had only been here, he was appointed in 1960, and in 1961 he was stolen away by Tanzanians to help them set up their university. when he came back, he brought back with him, I think, an enhanced understanding of the problems that faced the new African countries and was able to teach that. The second way I think he contributed significantly to our department was that he, because of who he was and the experience that he had, we were very successful in hiring new faculty members, prominent faculty members whose focus was on African politics. And there were, I think, I'm not sure if all of them are here, I thought Jonathan Barker he's coming imminently. Jonathan was one of the first that came. A second was Richard Stren. Richard is here. And the third one is Richard Sandbrook, and I'm not sure if Richard is here yet. Not well. I'm sorry to say that. But those were just three, to mention three people who I think were influenced by Cran and the work that he had done in Tanzania. The last way I think that the impact that his stay in Tanzania had was that he managed to attract some of the finest African graduate students that we've had over the years. And I'll just mention three, and I've gone through the list of his PhD committees that Cran served on, and it's an impressive list. But there are two particularly come from Tanzania. One is Augustine Mahiga, who left here and I believe went back and had a prominent role in the Foreign Service of Tanzania, and is now recently appointed the UN Secretary General's Special Representative in Somalia. Quite an undertaking for anyone. The second was Mohammed Halfani, who left here, went back and played a role in development studies at the university, and is now, I think, the head of the UN Habitat section dealing with Africa and Arab states. The third person I wanted to mention, and I bring greetings to Cran from him because I've been in communication with him, is Taysir Ali. Taysir, who came from the Sudan, graduated here, went back to the University of Khartoum, and I think had the distinct honor of being fired by presidential decree in 1992 because of his activities in trying to bring about peace between North and South Sudan. Taysir wrote to me and said, Cran is a rare scholar and human being, in that one does not often meet individuals of his caliber who combine high scholarship and genuine and generous human caring. I know that he has influenced the thinking of many of us from Africa and elsewhere who studied with him. In my own experience, when the going gets tough, which is almost a daily life experience in the Horn of Africa, I always instinctively ponder how Cran would have handled the situation. And I think he is now the head of and created a peace-building center for the Horn of Africa that's located in Asmara, Eritrea. So I think as we celebrate Cran's, we need to remember that that experience had a very positive impact on the growth and development of our own department here at the University of Toronto. Having said that, I would like to call upon the two speakers from Tanzania that are going to speak.